Welcome back to the Client Spotlight. Steve Ciprani here with the amazing operating principal, Jamie Lee Bongard. Jamie Lee is the operating principal of Keller Williams Advantage in Toronto, and we helped her to find her team leader. So always love talking to OPs, high-level business people. But Jamie Lee, thanks so much for being here today.
No problem. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So first question I always like to ask everyone, you're an experienced, successful business person. You have this really important role to fill. I often say this is like one of the most important, if not the most important to a market center to find. Why did you decide to work with us on this hire instead of doing this on your own?
I have done the hiring process myself many times. And when I run three Keller Williams brokerages and have a family with four young kids, and time to me is everything. And so, with the decision of my time and the value you provided to have someone else take on the majority of that process, it was a no-brainer because it bought my time back as a mom, as a business owner, so I could focus on other things.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's about leverage, right? So I always like to ask everyone, especially like really important role, can be the difference between success and a lot of challenges. What was one thing as we were getting started that you were excited about, and maybe it was one thing that you were a little afraid of?
I was really excited about not having to post all my own ads, scrub through all the resumes, all the little micro details. I think letting go of the control or that initial screening process was a step of faith for me in going, okay, someone else can do this probably better than I can. So I think it allowed for more applicants ultimately, but I did have a little bit of fear letting go of that whole scrubbing process. And I got over it very quickly because it bought me a lot of my time back.
Awesome. Yeah, and that makes a lot of sense. I mean, that is important. I think any of us that do what we do for a living, you have to use your intuition, and that matters a lot. So I want to ask you, like, as we were partnered together, what was the experience of that process like? I hear you saying, "Hey, you saved me a lot of time," but what was it like to work with our recruiting team and really go through some candidates and scrub to find the best people? Tell me about that.
It was really great and seamless because right from the posting of the jobs to getting candidates, the person that you paired with me did a great job of selecting them, pre-recording all of those first stages of the Keller personality assessment interviews, and then sending me them. So in my own time, I could watch them and decide who to move forward with. So I didn't have to be on every step of the process. It was sort of a pick and choose what makes sense with what candidate, and it just streamlined everything to be far more efficient than I had done it before.
Yeah, I love that. And I know we hired Roberto for you. It sounds like he had a great month so far. I think you said he recruited five people this month. Is that right?
Yeah, it's what is it, August 21st, and he's added five so far. So that's a good month for us in Toronto.
Absolutely. And so, what's next for you guys? What are you excited about? What was it like as he was getting up and running? That's always part of, I say to a lot of owners, hiring doesn't stop when the person signs the contract. It's just like we have with our buyers and sellers, right? It's building that relationship even after that. But what's that been like for you guys? How are you doing? And how did you get him? I'm sure a lot of OPs would love to know. How are you guys doing 5 a month? That's awesome. But tell us a little bit about that if you could.
So after he joined, it was a good time because we brought him right to family reunion on his first week in Vegas. So he basically started with high level training right out of the gates, and then shortly after got to come to mega leadership camp. So the process of the onboarding, the training, he dove right in and he got a lot of the technical aspects of command and lead generation and follow up, and he's very systematic. So that was helpful having a candidate like that. And because of the selection process and because of the diligence in that behind the scenes, it closed a lot of those training gaps because when you find the right person, often they'll learn things that they just take, they learn quicker, I guess you could say, if
Yeah.
you in the process of hiring in an effective way.
Yeah,
Because
and that's a really interesting observation. I always encourage everyone, the more you flesh out, that's what we mean when we say slow to hire, right? Like the more you flesh out the unknowns during your hiring process instead of when that person starts on day one, that can make a world of difference. So that's such an interesting observation. Thank you for sharing that. Would love to just ask you this question too. What's one piece of advice you would give to someone when starting this process, and what would that be?
Just follow the process. They're proven professionals in the area of hiring, specifically with Keller Williams and for this role. They know what they're doing and what they're looking for. And I would follow that process that they're recommending and don't disregard any candidates right away because sometimes someone can show up in the later part of the interviews in unexpected ways.
Hmm. Well said. I love that. And what's next for you this year in KW Advantage and your other
Well,
market center too?
we have an exciting event coming up actually September 10th. We've got someone coming in, an AI event with John Lee and Adele Tevlin, and they're going to talk about the power of AI and social media. And we're hoping to do some major recruitment from it. So yeah, can't wait.
I love that. And last question for you today. We always love, we're in the referral business too. If there are agents that are watching this that want to send you some referrals and where you live, how can people reach out or contact you more if you want to do some business with them?
I would say the best way to reach out would be either contact through our Instagram accounts. So I have a personal Instagram account, Jamie Lee Bongard, and then any of our brokerages, which is KW Advantage, KW Experience, or Keller Williams Energy on Instagram. We would love to hear from you. We work very collaboratively amongst our three locations, and we've got amazing in-culture agents and leadership at all three of our locations. So thank you.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Jamie Lee. It was really a pleasure to work with you through this process. We really did enjoy that. And thanks for just sharing some really awesome, interesting insights too, just about, the hiring process with us and just your own business practices. I really love that. So